Hey, so I hear you want to get into animation. I think that's pretty cool. Animation tends to be a very tedious process, though, so just a fair warning if you've never dabbled in it before. There's different kinds of animation. There's 2D animation, and there's two kinds of 2D animations that come to mind for me, at least. There is the hand-drawn 2D animations, and you can see examples of this in sticky note, flipbook animations, and whatnot. The thing about 2D animations that are hand-drawn is that you need to have an idea of figure drawing. You need to be able to be consistent with your figures, with your characters, to make sure you're not drawing a guy that has a really long arm in one frame and then a really short arm in the next frame. You need to be consistent there. Some of these things are actually pretty cool when you think about it, but they take a lot of time, and I'm not sure what exactly you want. Now, when I tend to think of 2D animations, I tend to think of animations. Before I get to that, another kind of animations that you can get into is puppet animations with 2Ds. Dragonbones is the biggest example I can give you right now. I think I mentioned this before, so let's see. Dragonbones. Bones 2D animation. Let's look it up right here. Okay, with something like Dragonbones is that you have your 2D images and you paste them on top. You put them on top of each other, and then you attach bones. And as you can see here, it's just what's called weight painting. So when you move bones, pieces of the images squash and stretch according to where you move those bone joints. Really, a really good example of, not a good example in animation generally speaking, but I mean an example of what I'm talking about with puppets is South Park, as their animation is entirely puppets. They use bones. They put images on top of each other and they use bones to move the limbs around, if you've seen some of them. I'm trying to make it sticky. Oh, I remember playing this game. But yeah, so their animation is pretty simple, and that's how they get it about using puppets. 2D hand-drawn animation in video games, like what you just saw with the South Park Stick of Truth, and then there's hand-drawn, well, not hand-drawn. South Park Stick of Truth was puppets. Hand-drawn is this right here, and it's actually pretty cool. Looks really tedious to work on, though it's really nice to look at, in my opinion at least. But these are sorts of animations for video games. Other animations that can be for 2D films and whatnot. A great source to look at for 2D animation is usually DC Comics and their movies. I think the latest movie they had out for the Teen Titans was the Judas Contract. Judas Contract movie clip Terra. And you'll notice right away that the facial expressions and everything are just so exaggerated, and the emotions, it gives it more life, gives it more character and whatnot. And that's what you're going to have to try to do with these 2D animations, with animation in general. I'll have a link in the description below for a little short film that explains everything, and it's based on the book. And it presents the 12 basic principles of animation, and it's called The Illusion of Life. I'll have a link in the description below or in the email, whichever comes first. And this video right here, The Illusion of Life, is one you need to look at. This is the basic animation skill set that all animators look at. Well, I mean, that they have to have these skills when making an animation. So that's how they make something alive, make it feel vivid, and have a character full of, well, character. This is true across for games, for yeah, for games, for short films, for actual films, and it's pretty fun. I'm kind of going on a blunder, whatever you call it here, because I'm not entirely sure what exactly you want. What do you want your project to look like? What do you want to do? I guess I'm hoping for you to have a solid idea of whether or not you want to do 2D animation or 3D animation. To me, the difference between 2D animation and 3D animation is how much hands-on approach you have. I know with 2D animation, if you want to go for the hand-drawn, if you can use tools like Flash and whatnot, they can help you a lot. But a lot of it's based on your skill level with art in general. I'm not sure how you are with that, but I'm going to assume you're at least adept with it. So that could be something you want. In the meantime, I'm going to be trying something here with a little ball. 3D animation, on the other hand, think of it working with mannequins. And, let's see. Working with mannequin and a bone system everywhere. So, if you ever seen those mannequin references that artists can have, let me pull it up. It's like these little guys here. This is exactly how 3D animation is like. You have the bones that are basically the joints. And how complex you want the character to move. You can have joints for the fingers, for the face, and whatnot. And that's kind of what you have here with something like this guy. I created him for a little game project I have in the works. But, yeah. He's a mannequin. I worked around him. The big advantage with working with 3D is you have a mannequin, you can move around, you can see what works, what doesn't work, and how you can make something better. He's saying your team sucks. Really loud. Anyways. I could show you a little bit of what I'm doing there, but that's probably just me bragging. So sorry about that. Another advantage with 3D animation is that, well, actually I should say some of the disadvantages with 3D animation is that sometimes the program that you work with can be really technical, but I guess that's not really different than any other program that you work with, whether it be for 2D or 3D animations. Once you know the skill sets for something like once you know the basic skills for animation, you can transfer those skills to any program you work with. So it really doesn't matter the tool that you use, the program that you work with, whether it be Flash, whether it be a 3D program like Maya or Blender, or, just paper and pencil. I mean, that's perfectly alright too. As long as you have the skills, you should be alright. Oops. what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make a quick little ball bounce. But it's not turning out too well, so sorry about the little distraction I got going on. I want to make it something cool. And practice makes perfect with anything. What you want to achieve, what you want to do is completely up to you. So I'll have some links in the description of this YouTube video for you, or in the email, whichever comes first. I think I said that before. Ooh. And I hope that you're able to come to a conclusion of what you want to do. As far as my schedule goes, these next, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days are going to be a big no for me. But after that, we can work something out and we can make this run smooth. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to be a teacher on pause for a little bit. As first day of class, your teacher doesn't show up for 5 days. That's going to have to be a thing. So again, sorry about that. I hope that we can figure out what you want to do. We can make something cool for you, or you can make something cool for you for your end of the year senior project. And I hope it turns out well for you. So in the meantime, check out the videos I'll have listed below, and be sure to definitely look at the Illusion of Life. That is where you'll get the skills for animation. Something you should really look into. Well, you're not gonna, it's not you should look into it, you have to look into it, because that's how you're gonna animate. And yeah, other than that, go watch some animations, figure out what you want to do. Do you think 3D looks cooler? Do you think 2D is just right for you? Figure that out. Watch something fun. Lion King, Prince of Egypt. There's a whole bunch of fun things out there. Shrek. Shrek, or any Pixar movie. That is a good choice right there, my friend. So have fun. Yeah, I'll have to talk with you a little later, though. So, see ya. Oh, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll try to answer as soon as I possibly can. So don't be shy. Alright, now bye.